Welcome to my presentation about the life of Pi, which is the winner of the Olivier Award for Best Lighting Design. Here's a News at 10 clip about the production.
It is a fantastical tale of a shipwrecked Indian boy who finds himself stranded on a lifeboat with an array of wild animals who perish, leaving him with a Bengal tiger called Richard Parker. The aim is to transport the audience at a time when we all perhaps need some escapism. Nina Nanar, News at 10.
I was going to choose DV8 for this production, for this presentation, but there wasn't much material available. So I found out who won the best lighting design for the Olivier Awards and decided to go with Life of Pi. And as you can already see, the lighting is absolutely stunning and is used in many various different ways. First of all, here we have nighttime with clouds. Here it's looking like daylight, maybe a hint of orange, sunlight, sunrise, sunset for a scene in the zoo. The lighting looks very natural. You can see the shadows of the bars, and there's a shadowy look behind the tiger. The goat has shadows of the bars also. Here's a very different look. There are lots of bars, lots and lots of bars. I think this implies that they're still in the zoo area, and the green light suggests foliage, and it's just absolutely bathed in green light. It looks stunning to the eye. And yes, looking at this next picture, we can see this is a market scene, and the light here looks wonderful, daylight, but again it's got that glow about it, the golden hour of light. Is it a sun near to sunset or to sunrise early in the morning? I don't know the play inside out, but that's what it looks like it's suggesting to me. Here the lighting is cold, it's harsh, but it's very diffused. It's diffused and harsh seems like opposite ends of the spectrum, but the diffused light gives a lot of detail. There's not much shadow. You can see the facial expressions and the detail in the scenery behind. So this is a scene in the hospital where the main character Pi is telling his story. Now here it's very dark lighting. It's meant to symbolize it's at night, but there are lights shining across, piercing through the shadows and the darkness. These could be the searchlights from the bigger ship. There's also, is it maybe a projection of water on the ground? Very effective lighting with the scene here. Here we have back projection with the clouds, and also there's a warm glow to the light, this reddish warm glow that could be sunset or sunrise. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. The water looks like it's, the water effect looks like it's projected down, and you can just see it's meant to be conveying a scene, but it just looks ever so attractive to the eye. It looks iconic. Here we have blue skies and clouds projected in the background. This actually looks quite cinematic, and there is a film of this of the original book, and this does remind me of the film. It's cinematic, that photograph, in the way that it's laid out and the way that it's taken. Now, moving on to these next pictures, this suggests to me they have done back projection of stars, but they've also had people holding the stars up on twigs, giving this look of a starry night under a forest. And it's amazing because it's telling the story from his hospital bed, and it shows this transition between sitting in the hospital bed, the reality, and then this story that he's telling. This lighting here, similar to the lighting that we looked at before. You have the clouds projected onto the background scenery, which looks quite neutral. You don't really realise it's got all those panels and stuff on with the texture of the clouds. And then the orangey light, the most beautiful times to take photographs in the early morning or in the evening when it's dusk. Now here the lighting is very blue. I don't know what this scene is, but I'm thinking it could be when he was rescued from... I can't tell you what this scene is. It could be an underwater scene. It could be the transition from the beach in Mexico where he was rescued. But I can tell you that there are shadows caused by the body of Pi. Now this scene to me is where Pi is obviously under the water. The performers holding him up are not an integral part of the action. It's Pi we're concentrating on, his in white, and the lights from above are lights from the ship. And this is very there's someone holding up a ring there for him. And this is a very atmospheric underwater scene. And if you think that this is the same stage as all the other shots that we've seen, and look at that, the hospital bed is a part of the ship, which is a very clever idea anyway, or a part of the lifeboat. And then the water is projected down with the illusion of rain coming down and a beam of light. There's also some blue light mixed in there. I don't know if that's to pick out the boat and to make it look like it's filled with water. Then this scene, this is a scene where it looks like the zoo with an open gate and a zebra coming out. You see the shadows are used to imply that there are trees, there's nature, botanical gardens, and there are bars showing on the windows that wouldn't normally be there, because sometimes those maybe the shutters are open and closed for that shadowy effect. Here we can see they've made a decision to show the puppeteers. Normally you'd expect them to be dressed in black and hidden in the shadows, but there's this meta theatricality where they've wanted to show how that tiger works. Very interesting. And look at the facial expression on that guy on the left. He's like the tiger. Amazing. The question is, what space would be good enough to put on a production like this? I came across this quote from the author of the original book. Nature can put on a thrilling show. The stage is vast. The lighting is dramatic. The extras are innumerable, and the budget for special effects is absolutely unlimited. I was thinking at first putting it on in a swimming pool because there is so much water involved in the production, or the impression of water. And I thought, why go with the impression of water when you can actually have real water? But a swimming pool, although the seats are raised high, and there are some quotes from reviews and also educational packs saying that it looks really good from above, I felt like a swimming pool just wouldn't have the right vibe. So I decided to do a search online for stages or theatrical places with swimming pools. But no. And then I suddenly remembered this beautiful stage in Bregans, placed in a lake. It's called the Serre Brunei. It means stage in the sea, or no, it means lake stage, or it literally is telling you what it is. It's a stage that's in the lake. And in keeping with what the author says, the original author of the original book says about the lighting and special effects that are provided by nature. Here you can see this is an example of one of the sets on the Bühne. Yes, German's not my first language. You can tell by the way I trip up over it as I try to mention anything. But the natural lighting, the play could be put on there with the natural lighting following the daylight, and then we could see it progress through dusk to into the night, and then from that point on all the other parts of the production would be dictated by the lighting on stage, and also backed up by the lighting and the cloud formations behind. And of course, we would never know exactly how that production would be, and that would be a part of the excitement. Here you can see the versatility of the stage and the different sets, and I'm sure that you can imagine transposing the set that you've seen for Life of Pi at the Wyndham Theatre in the West End, and how they had those blocks, those flats at the back, and how that could translate into a similar setting, and with lighting, and then the water around, and the actual real water, and the clouds, and then the boat, and the switching to the hospital scene, and the scene of the jungle, and the animals. I just think setting Life of Pi on this stage would bring an amazing aspect to it, another dimension to it, not of realism, but of overawing, just spectacular theatre. I think this would be the ideal situation to see Life of Pi. And to think that at the beginning I had no idea what to do, but I do feel really enthusiastic about suggesting that Life of Pi, the stage show, should be staged at this theatre, TS406 in Bregenz.